I feel a lot of you are dealing with some type of healing, um, are in some type of healing profession, or in some type of like you're doing something therapeutic. So you could be a massage therapist, you could be a therapist, you could be a doctor, you could be like a surgeon, you could even be like a dentist. I feel like you're in some type of, you're in some line of work where you are helping people feel better about themselves. So you can, by all means, you can even sell cosmetics, or could be a makeup artist where you are helping other people boost their self-esteem. So I feel like you're going to have to play the healer for this month, where you're helping somebody deal with, flush out their inner demons, talk about their inner demons, talk about their past, so that you can allow some type of healing to take place. And I feel like it's going to serve you well to be very, very sympathetic with other people for this month. And it's going to serve you well to be extra vigilant as well. So balancing the rationality with the emotions, balancing the naivety with the sense of discernment, that's going to be required. So don't be taken in, by a sob story. Keep your wits about you as well, because I feel like you're dealing with somebody who's very charming, very cunning, but a little bit sneaky. Okay, so keep that in check. The last message that I'm getting here is I feel like it's a very relaxing month. I don't feel there is like heavy, busy energy. A lot of it is waiting, waiting, waiting. So I feel like you're like kind of, I feel a lot of you might be getting, antsy, might be getting kind of like, restless. But overall, the environment is not busy. You're just waiting on something. And I feel like, as a result of having to wait, as a result of not being able to move and do things, I feel like your excess energy, your excess mental energy needs to be channeled into creative ventures, so that you're not irritable. Okay? So like a Virgo that is forced to stay still and not being productive with his or her time can be quite irritable when you deal with them. And I feel like that's what's happening with you. And you want to be careful about that energy. Find something to keep your hands, your mind occupied, so that you're not antsy and nervous and irritable. Okay? Last message. I feel like somebody, for those of you who are coupled up, okay, I feel like somebody knows that you're coupled up, but they're still pursuing you. And I feel like you're flattered by this person, you're taken in by this person, like you might like put them on a pedestal, and you might have inkling that they like you. However, they know you're in a relationship, especially for those who are in a relationship. They know you're in a relationship and they're still pursuing you. So I feel like that might be the sneaky person that they were talking about. But I feel like you need to really see this situation in a very realistic lens. Okay, so you might be flattered, yes, but that says a lot about that person if they know you're involved with somebody else and they're still pursuing you. So that's not a good start to a new relationship. So just be careful about that if you're dealing with that. I'm going to go into your reading. So the first two cards that we have out here is the Wheel of Fortune, which is a very, very positive card, things turning in your favor. And I do feel like if you are dealing with some type of financial loss, financial fluctuation, financial hardships, where you are juggling multiple jobs in order to make ends meet, I do sense that your financial situation is going to turn around for the better. Okay, so not to worry, Virgos. I do feel this heavy I did feel this heavy energy coming through for November, where wherever you're headed, you felt very uncertain. But I do feel that, for this month at least, if you have recently started a new job, taken on a new job, or even like have struggled with some financial worries in the past, I do sense that things are going to be stable for you as well, and things are going to turn around in your favor. Okay. On the other hand, if you have been juggling two people when it comes to the romantic front, this is about dropping the ball as well. So I feel like finances looks very, very stable. Juggling multiple people is not going to end well. So just be careful about that, because I do see strife coming through. If you are juggling two people and you're trying to decide who to date, who to be with, and things like that, that's fine. And I feel that, some news, some information, some insights will be coming through for you to decide who's a better option for you. All right. So I do sense that either way, by the end of this month, you will have all the information you need as to which option is a better choice for you and who is a better, who's a better match for you. I do feel a lot of you are grappling with some major decision when it comes to your work situation. So I feel like you're juggling two jobs. You are contemplating leaving one job for another. You're contemplating leaving one partner for another. You're also contemplating leaving, like, whether or not you should shift away from self-employment to the regular 9 to 5, working for somebody else, or vice versa, leaving the 9 to 5 job in order to pursue some type of self-employment or, creative endeavor. So you have a lot on your plate when it comes to, like, some major decisions when it comes to your financial situation. If you have already decided on this, then I do feel this is the month in which, things are going to start rolling along. You might encounter the first bump in the road when it comes to getting people to be receptive to your creative venture. But I do sense that you're going to be able to make great strides and traction because you work very, very diligently in everything that you do. You're going to be able to convince people to come to your point of view, or to persuade people about the merits of your ideas and of your, skills and expertise that you're bringing to the table. In the work environment, especially for those of you who are self-employed, on the work environment, I feel like you're dealing with a lot of people who are very skeptical, who are very jaded with life, who are very analytical, and they require a lot of proof. They require a lot of, like, show me facts, show me figures, show me the statistics on that. So they need you to back up all of your claims with, like, real life practical. They need, like, citations, they need facts and figures, they need statistics. So I feel like you're dealing with people who are not easily persuaded. They have, like, they're very fixed in their opinions, they're very fixed in their ideas. I feel like, Leo people and Scorpio people come to mind because those are the two fixed signs that I'm seeing here. So you're dealing with people who are very stubborn, very rigid, very tunnel vision, and they're very fixed in their ways. On top of that, I do feel like they've been jaded by life, and they are assessing you and really, putting you under a microscope to make sure that your ideas, your knowledge is stable. Okay. So your foundation, like your knowledge, your foundation is stable. So you're dealing with jaded, skeptical people. On the positive side, they could be very intelligent. They can give you good feedback and advice. On the other hand, they can be so jaded to the point where they're going to question everything that you try to throw at them. So there is a defensiveness coming through on the work environment, especially for those of you who are self-employed. You're going to have to really go above and beyond to prove yourself. So I feel like you're kind of intimidated by some people in your work environment. On the other hand, we do have, overall, your financial situation is looking a lot better, which is good. And so I feel that you're working under the directives of people who are very, very knowledgeable, and they're giving you proper advice as to how to move on, how to better refine, rethink, or even reorganize your work processes. Okay. So it looks very good. The second cluster deals with an offer of love, or an offer of friendship, or an offer for flirtation or something like that coming through. And going back to what I mentioned earlier, I feel like somebody knows if you are coupled up, right? There's somebody that has been eyeing you for quite some time, and they're making their feelings known. And I feel like this person, the message that the images that I'm getting is somebody who's, like, kind of socially awkward, And I feel like they don't really know, they're not like very good with flirting. So I feel like they're a little bit sloppy when it comes to making their intentions known, or they're trying to, downplay or hide their feelings for you. And when they come forward, they're just very, very like clumsy. They might spill things, they might say the wrong things, they might get nervous and tongue-tied and stutter, or I feel like they might just be very nervous around you. So that's what I'm sensing. And I feel that, you're trying to maintain a straight face, but you don't really know how to do it. So I feel something comical like that coming through in a flirtatious manner between you and another person. So let me just go through these two cards. I have here the Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups, this is the Page of Cups, indicates to me like an offer coming through from another person. A lot of you might be dealing with a fire sign. So this is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. If you are dealing with a fire sign who is coming through to make their feelings known to you, what I see happening is this is somebody who is quite stubborn, who is very like alpha. Even if it's a female, it can be somebody who's very, very alpha. They have a lot of masculine energy about them. They're somebody quite aggressive, quite like, if they like something, they will make it known. And I feel like this person has their eyes on you, and they really want to, make it known that they like you. I feel like somebody who's very territorial. And I do sense somebody who's very courageous, very honest, and just very good and sound. However, emotionally they are very underdeveloped. Okay, so what that means is they might not know how to express themselves in a emotionally healthy way. They might have a lot of they might need a lot of affection, a lot of love, a lot of validation. And they might not, and rather than asking for these things, they might be prone to jealousy, fits of rage when they don't get what they want. So I feel like it's somebody with a little bit of a temper problem. They don't know how to control or manage their emotional state. So I do see a huge emotional swing with this person. On the one hand, they're very courageous, very generous, very loving, and very kind. But at their worst, when they feel like neglected, or um when they feel as if they're overlooked, they can be very attention seeking. They can just be just I feel like emotionally they're very young. A lot of you, this might be like a somebody in your family, and I feel that they're trying to reach out to you. There's some type of a peace offering, and it's coming in a very, they're saying in a very translucent way. So I feel that, they're from a mile away, you see them coming. And I'm seeing somebody who's quite clumsy. I feel like they're saying from a mile away, you can see this person coming. So you know what they want, you know what their intentions are. And I feel like you're kind of like playing dumb. You pretending that you don't know what their intentions are. You're waiting for them to like arrive at their to be able to voice or verbalize their intentions. Even though you know what their intentions are, you want them to get to that point where they are honest with their feelings. So I feel a lot of you are kind of taking a step back, and you're not really, you're pretending as if you don't know what they mean, so that they can explain themselves, so that they can arrive at their own truths and to be honest with their own intentions. So I feel like you're practicing a little bit of tough love with this person. For others of you, this could even be a romantic partner that you're dealing with who is a little bit like attention seeking, a little bit difficult to deal with, a little bit more self-centered. They might come to you like expecting you to drop everything on your plate in order to accommodate them. And I feel like they might be just emotionally underdeveloped. They're not bad people. They're just a little bit more self-centered, a little bit more emotionally underdeveloped. So they might not know that what they're doing is inappropriate. So I feel like you're setting firm boundaries with them, and you're doing so in a very loving but very detached way to teach them about, where they end and where you begin, so that they don't encroach upon your space, your time, and that they don't feel this sense of like entitlement. So I feel like it's good boundary setting, but I feel like a lot of you might be romantically involved with this person, or might have like a lot of emotional investment in this person, and you're trying to change their behavior in a very good manner. So you're trying to lead them down the right path when it comes to how to express themselves emotionally in a healthy way, or finding like an outlet for their emotions so that they're not clamming up, or they're not expressing it in rage and fury. So this person I feel is a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, sun, moon, or rising. I do feel a very strong Leo vibe, stronger than the other signs. Leo and Aries specifically. The next cluster that we are dealing with here is the Death card, as well as the Three of Wands. And this Death card has been coming out for a lot of signs. The Death card indicates new major transformations that are coming through. And overall, it is going to be very, very positive, okay? It's linked up here with the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is waiting for an opportunity to come in that can be very fruitful for you. And a lot of you are waiting on multiple opportunities to come through. This is like large scale clients, large portfolios that you're handling, commission checks, even some type of like waiting on some type of I feel like court settlements, or even, you know, back pay, like disability, back pay from disability, as well as some type of a resolution, like finalized contracts that are being signed so that you can move on. And it's going to be coming through for this month. I do feel they're saying there is not over yet, it's not done and over yet, and it's not sealed and delivered. They're saying that there is still some last minute snags along the way that's preventing the situation from ending. And I do feel like, you know, for example, if you're waiting on some divorce papers, right? The other person might throw in some type of stipulations like, you know, I want this before, I want this, I want that, and I want, you know, a portion of this or a percentage of that before I will finalize the divorce for you. So you're dealing with another person who is quite strategic, and they might be putting up a fight or making it difficult for you to move on. I feel like people might have their paycheck withheld. People might have their commission check withheld until the new year, until like, you know, 7 weeks from now. So that would take us into the January time frame. But it will clear up for you guys. And then others of you, I feel like if you are kind of like, if you're trying to get people on board, I feel investors, financiers, people that are in a position of authority and status, if you're trying to get them on board with something that you're doing, you're going to have to put on quite a spectacular show in order to prove to them that you're worth the investment. So you're going to have to be put on center stage, and you're going to have to outperform all of the competitors in order to land this lucrative assignment. But it is coming through, and it's going to be very phenomenally good for you when it comes to stabilizing your income. The Death card is what I'm sensing with this person here. If you're dealing with that fire sign that I mentioned earlier, this person is going through a major, you know, like metamorphosis. If you have had like some type of emotional rift, or some type of time or distance away from this person, they're coming back in, and I feel almost like they're putting on a show. Some of them might go through like major metamorphosis where they have changed into a different person, and they know how to be more cooperative. They know how to be, you know, more patient. They know how to regulate their emotions. But I do feel that something is going to trigger this month to bring back the old person. So I feel like there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. And then on the other hand, I feel some of you might be dealing with somebody in the past. They were one way, and now they need something from you. So they have totally drastically change themselves, and I feel like the change is very superficial. So you're dealing with somebody who's very sneaky, and be very careful about that, okay? You are a very good judge of character, and a lot of the times I feel like you give people the benefit of the doubt, often too many times, when you should just call them out on, their false behavior. So I feel that it's really important for you to just, be very vigilant of your surrounding. And if you, changes don't happen overnight. And in order for a person to change themselves 180, it's just not something that can happen within a short period of time. So if you've seen major changes, just be aware of the underlying causes for it, because I feel like it is a very superficial change. It's not something that is long lasting, and it's not coming about as, true insights. It's coming through as a result of somebody wanting something, so that they're changing their behavior in order to get what they want. But then once they get what they want, they're going to revert back, and there's still going to be a lot of conflict further down the line between the two of you. So just be careful of people coming through promising that they have changed, okay? Because I feel like the changes happening are very much like on a superficial level. For others of you who are dealing with a water sign, we do have a Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising. I do feel like a lot of you might be romantically involved with this person, or you are dealing with them in a work environment. I feel like this is somebody that is very supportive, very like a very good team player. They're very cooperative as well. And I do sense for this month, they are going to be on your side, okay? They're taking your side. They're going to be a very good ally for you, a very good source of support. Love and support is what I'm feeling from this person. They're going to help you go through some type of difficult journey in your life. They're giving you advice as to how to do so. And I do sense as well, if you have been dealing with some type of conflict with this person in the past, I feel that both of you will be able to reach a point where you start to work together in a more harmonious manner. I feel like in the past there might have been a lot of misunderstanding. This person is somebody who's very passive. They don't come forward until it's absolutely necessary. You might have thought they were very selfish, but I do feel they're going to really step up their game. They're really going to give you a lot of support behind the scenes, or defend your honor is what I'm sensing. And as a result of it, I feel that you're going to have a newfound kind of like impression of this person. Okay, now in terms of your spiritual advice, first of all, I did mention that a lot of you are in the healing profession. I feel like that is your life's calling. Okay, they're saying pretty much if you are in some type of healing profession, for many of you, you are on the right track, and you're going to make major strides, major success in this endeavor. And then for others of you, they're saying here, you have a water sign. So this is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. This is somebody that is going to provide very strong insights. This is somebody who's going to be a very good business partner if you're thinking about partnering up, or you're thinking about hiring somebody to expand your business operations to help you do something. I feel like this is somebody that is kind of like God-given, like they are preordained to come into your life because they're serving as a spiritual mentor, a major source of support for you in order to get something done so that you can move on to the next phase in your life. If you are romantically linked up with a water sign and there has been a lot of conflict in the past, they're saying there's going to be a victory here with a water sign, okay? Like against a water sign, or a victory with a water sign. And if you've been, if the interaction has been very conflictual, there's going to be some type of breakage, some type of walking away, or even some type of victory that's going to be had here. I feel like a lot of you have worked really hard to climb to a position of authority. And I feel like this is the month in which you are going to shine, in which you are just going to sit back and be able to reap the fruits of your labor, all of the hard work you've invested in changing people, helping people, and especially changing something that is broken, like fixing something that is broken. Things are going to start to function again. And I feel like it's going to be in a very fruitful manner, but I don't see it coming through for this month. I do see the month of January, February being major catalysts for things to come to fruition for you. Whatever you've been working on, that's when you're going to start to see tangible results. And that's when you're going to start to see breakthroughs. Okay.